Hey guys, welcome back to Shank's Ranks. Today we're going to do a new review on Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom 3D. If you didn't catch my last video, I did a review on Jurassic World in 3D. I've been watching the Jurassic Park movies from start to finish in anticipation of the new Jurassic World Rebirth movie coming out. And as I mentioned in my last video, I have already done a review of this movie from like way back in the day when I first started my channel. But at the time, I was using a less than par setup. It was an old Samsung LCD 3D TV, and I'd say like 60% of the movies that I had looked good on it, but this movie looked horrible on it. So I decided I'm gonna go back and watch this again in 3D on my LG OLED and see how it looks, and I'm so glad I did. What a big difference it made. And also, the movie is a lot better than what I thought it was, too. I remember when I first saw it, I was extremely disappointed. I mean, granted, I still don't think it's like, you know, up there with the original Jurassic Park trilogy, and I don't think it's as good as the first Jurassic World, but it's definitely not as bad as I thought it was. Although there are some silly scenes in it, like towards the middle where there's this big giant raptor, Endoraptor, that is playing dead and smiles while it's about to chomp down on this dude's hand. But anyway, let's get into some tech specs. So, the movie was released in 2018. It's rated PG-13. It's got a runtime of 2 hours and 9 minutes. For audio, surprisingly, we have an immersive DTS-X mix. For the aspect ratio, it's 2:39:1, so yes, you are going to have black bars on the top and bottom. So for the ratings, IMDb is giving it 6.1 out of 10, general audience giving it 4 out of 5 stars, and Rotten Tomatoes with 47%. So let's see, what do I remember about the 3D? So in the very first chapter, we have the guys visiting the old park to collect some dino bones, and there are multiple layers of depth that bring the viewer right into the picture. In the same scene, you got this poor bro here that has the homies telling him to bounce, but he's kind of slow, so he ends up getting chased by T-Rex. And I love how the Rex's mouth kind of looks like it's about to pop out. Pretty much like the last movie, the best 3D scenes during all the outdoor scenes. In the daytime, which all look very blurry when you take your glasses off. This is also very much highlighted in the scene where Owen is reunited with Blue again. You see Owen on the outside layer while the picture pushes back, with many layers between the tree vines and the mercenary in the back. It also looks like Blue's snout almost pops off the screen when she gets pissed there. You know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and jump into the rating here. For picture quality, I'm giving this one 5 out of 5 stars. I think I really liked the look of the movie because it was shot digitally in resolutions of 6.5 and 3.4K. It has a very crisp picture that shows off impressive details, especially of the dino's body. To me, it had beautiful contrast with some great highlights being showcased during the volcano scene. For three-dimensional depth, I'm gonna give this one 3.8 out of 5 stars. For basically what seemed like 2/3 of the movie, the depth was very solid, and at times I found myself enjoying it more than the first Jurassic World, but the last third of the movie that takes place in Bro's basement just didn't seem to lend itself to 3D that much, with certain scenes falling quite flat. For three-dimensional pop-out effects, I'm giving this one 1 out of 5 stars, which is pretty much on par with the last movie. There really isn't much pop to speak of besides the occasional dino snout that looks like it wants to break the barrier of your screen, but ultimately it's held back. For audio quality, I feel like the audio quality and the picture quality of this movie is kind of what saved the rating here. For audio quality, I'm giving this one 5 out of 5 stars. As I said, we had an impressive DTS-X mix. The disc definitely is demo-worthy, and most importantly, all the dialogue can be heard very clearly through the center channels. When Owen and the gang first arrive on the island, I started to feel my subwoofer vibrate and my seat vibrate, and I knew that my sub was going to have a workout. During a scene when the volcano starts to erupt and these two are in this control center, you hear the shaking and cracking of the structure in the overhead speakers as it goes from one side to the other. And of course, we have the big volcanic explosion scene here, where the bass is at its deepest and you can hear all the stampeding noises of the dinosaurs in your surround speakers while the fallen molten rock are flying past you in the overhead. So ultimately, guys, I'm giving this one B tier, which is actually surprising because, you know, as I said, I watched these movies originally on my older 3D TV, and originally I liked Jurassic World 1 the best with 3D, And you know, I was pleasantly surprised with how much I liked this one. So the reason I came with B tier and not C tier like the last movie is because the picture quality on this one was a lot crisper. The colors were very good. I thought it had a very good contrast. Things looked pretty natural. All the greens on the vines and the trees looked natural to me. It had impressive detail with dino textures on their body and whatnot. And the surround sound mix was also very, very, very good. Much better than the surround sound, which was 7.1 DTS HD Master Audio on the first movie. For the depth, I would say I liked the three-dimensional depth better in this movie than in the first movie, but the reason why this one didn't get a higher rating on depth than the last movie is because it wasn't inconsistent. It wasn't consistent. So, like I said, the first 2/3 of the movie showcased some beautiful depth, and then, like, for the last 45 or 50 minutes where they're in Homeboy's basement or in his mansion, it just doesn't seem like it lends itself to 3D that well. There are some scenes scattered throughout the ending that are pretty decent, but, as I said, it's pretty inconsistent. And again, the pop-out effects, you know, this isn't really one of those movies that has a lot of gimmicky pop-out effects. The most you'll see is, you know, an ember from the volcano, like a burning ember here and there, and a dino snout that looks like it wants to come out of your screen, but it just ultimately doesn't break past that barrier. But yeah, I would say if it wasn't for the picture quality and the DTSX mix, if those two had gotten 4 out of 5 stars instead of 5 out of 5 stars, I would have put this one in C tier, but those two factors were very impressive to me. And I did enjoy the 3D. I still think the 3D version is the way to watch this, but that's just my opinion on it. I can't wait to do my next video. It's gonna be my first time watching Jurassic World Dominion on 3D Blu-ray. I didn't even get a chance to watch it in 3D in the movie theater. I just went and saw it in basic IMAX. I know it wasn't shot in IMAX, but I went to the IMAX theater to see it though. So I'm really excited, and I'm interested to see if I'll like it as much as I liked it last time when I saw it. Because as I said, the worst one, in my opinion, was Fallen Kingdom. So my favorite was Dominion, Jurassic World, and then Fallen Kingdom. I just thought Fallen Kingdom was so lousy. But I was pleasantly surprised this time I actually seemed to like it a lot more. So I'm wondering if that means when I go back and watch Dominion, am I gonna like that one as much as I remember it? Or am I gonna be like, you know what, everybody's right, this movie kinda sucks. I don't know, we'll see. But thanks again for watching, guys, and if you like this video, please consider liking or subscribing, and have a wonderful day. Bye.